Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live stream with myself, Annette Dalloo, as well as Angie Decanales. And she's going to be joining us ever so shortly. She's having a little bit of a computer issue. So she's going to work on that and she will be joining us shortly. So today we are discussing what is blocking your intuition, as well as we're going to be sharing some tips and some things that we have learned over the course of our journeys as to how to sort of unblock those things that are blocking your intuition. And then the other thing we're going to discuss today is what type of psychic are you? So, what kind of gifts you have and where they're showing up in your life. And oftentimes, our gifts can show up in places that are really unexpected. So, for example, you might think that you need to be clairvoyant and see images and pictures, but maybe your gifts are coming in a different way. So, we're going to explore that as well. Hello, Joan. How are you? How are you? Good to see you.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Great. Awesome.
How are you doing?
I'm going through like a pretty bad purge today, so I'm feeling a little crappy. So that's why my camera's off.
No worries at all.
Yeah.
So we're just warming up here a little bit before we get started, and we're gonna wait for a couple of other people. And for those of you who wanted to get the guidance during this live stream, and if you did not get an invite link to join us, please uh, post a comment, please, and let me know because I didn't get everybody. I got Joan and I got Justina, but I wasn't able to find. There were two others, I believe. So if you can just give me a shout out, that would be great, and I'll send you the link. So yeah, Joan, the purging, there's been a lot of interesting energies going on in the last few days. I've had a lot of people say that they feel like it's Mercury retrograde, and it's not. At least I don't think it is. But yeah, people have been having issues with electronics, i.e., so Angie's having that problem now. But I mean, I was having problems with all kinds of things in the last couple of days. I was recording podcasts and like things were just going completely wonky. So I don't know what's going on, but yeah, some sort of planetary something or other. I don't know, Joan, do you know?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I know it's Scorpio season, right? And then it's funny because with the new moon and everything, like I
Mm,
felt quite normal because I'm like,
mhm,
Scorpio. I'm like, oh wow, I feel fine. But then I started to get sick.
mhm.
And then it was like it was more like physical things happening. And then it's literally been one after the other. So
Yeah.
it feels like a fake sick, like I'm not
Oh,
sick,
okay.
but it's like, okay, I'm for like 24 hours and then I'm fine. And then something else happens. I'm like, okay, something's happening here. And I
Yeah.
haven't quite looked into it more deeply.
Mm.
But
Yeah,
it's
and
very odd. It's just very odd. Yeah.
And that's usually one of the ways that you can tell that it is sort of like an upgrade symptom, or it is an ascension symptom, is that it's sort of either short-lived or it doesn't feel like it's fully coming on. It's just kind of lingering about.
Exactly.
Um
It's like
yeah,
dragging out.
yeah, yeah. Bianca, I just sent you the link. Apologies. I think that link may have gone out to everybody. Sorry. We're not letting everybody into the room today. It's just the 4 people who are getting the guidance. So, if everybody got that link, sorry. I'm sort of relatively new to StreamYard. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, Joan, it's interesting because to introduce myself to everybody watching so far, I'm an Akashic conduit, so that's my main thing. That's what I do. I do awakening guidance. I do intuitive readings. I do channeling, that sort of thing. Astrology is not my forte in any way. So I have other friends who are really, really good at astrology, and so I sort of turn to them when things are a little wonky. And yeah, so if anybody else out there knows what's going on and what's causing all these interesting things the last few days, let us know. Hi, Justina. Justina, I sent you the link. So if you want to click on that so you can join us in the room. Great. Hi, Bianca.
Hi.
Hello. How are you?
Hi, how are you guys?
Great. How are you, Bianca?
I'm good, thank you.
Wonderful. Angie.
Hey.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, I'm finally here. Thank you so much, Annette.
So it's funny, Angie, because we were talking about how the last several days have really felt like Mercury's in retrograde.
Oh yeah.
Even though it's not, but it's like I was recording my podcast the last couple of days, and all kinds of wonky things were happening with electronics, and everybody that I've spoken to has been like, what is going on with the planets today?
I know. And
Yeah.
I think this is like what actually got us talking about this live, and the fact that we really wanted to address this energetic upgrade, and like this weird thing, because once again, every time we talk to each other, it's like we're rediscovering, we're downloading, and we realize that we are experiencing new, or it's always new degree of something, new things that are happening. And so this ascension process, it's really amazing, but it does put us through a lot of challenges. So
Yeah.
that was the occasion as well to actually invite our friends there. And I see that I'm going to say hello as well. I mean, we have Justina. Sorry, hi Justina. We have Bianca. We have Joan. We have I believe there is somebody else that should be here with us, Annette.
Yeah, I couldn't find the other person on your Facebook.
Okay.
So I wasn't able to send them that link. So if you can find whoever that was and send that would be great.
Perfect. So we say hello. Can you put your camera on, maybe, Justina and Joe and Bianca?
Oh, I'm going through a nasty purge right now, so I'm like sitting in bed, not feeling well with my camera off. That's why it's off.
Who's saying that?
Sorry.
Is it Justina?
Yeah, I'm like also not looking great at home in my PJs, but it's fine. And I don't even know where to how to angle my my phone right now. But hi, ladies.
Hello.
Oh, you look
Hi.
amazing. You look beautiful. Justina, I don't think there is any chance in the world that you're ever gonna look bad. I mean, that's not possible. It's so beautiful. So, hey, all divine feminine here. You're beautiful. We're beautiful. So let's not get retrograde in the way.
Beautiful. So let's not get retrograde in the way.
Bianca, hello.
Hi.
Bianca, hello.
All right. So what we will do, because the sound is not very. Oh, they're saying that one of our guests, Maria, you're using Android.
And okay, there's a bug.
There's a bug, and it's echoing, and
it just goes along with all of the little technical issues. And and I know, Angie, you experience this too, and this is just always amusing to me, is that the more we have this embodiment of our divine presence, the more we have a tendency to short out electronics. Like, it actually makes things not work, or it makes them flash, or it makes them sort of stutter, or whatever it happens to be. And it's super, super interesting, because I have a webcam on my computer. I have an external webcam, and I thought my external webcam was broken because it kept on flashing and it kept on doing all these things. And then I switched cameras, does the exact same thing, and I'm like, oh, it's me. So like those types of technical issues can absolutely, yeah, they can absolutely happen based on our own energies.
So yeah, and I think today's going to be very interesting about this energy, and that's so aligned and amazing, because it's always like that. I mean, we get together, we are like connecting into these intuitions, like fully, like fusioning, resonating together, and this is when we actually decided to talk about intuition and upgrade of energy and what's happening today. We really, like into this topic of what's happening now. Like there is more and more, like the solar flares, the Schumann resonance, so many upgrades in the world. I mean, we can see everywhere. It's like it's a beautiful like alignment between chaos and amazing, like discovery. I mean, I was in Dieppe last weekend, and we did some activation with a dear friend of mine that's called Christopher. It's a shaman, and I will do a live with him in a couple of days. And every activation we've done was like a huge flow of this energy. I mean, yes, it can be chaotic and it can be, like the source of glitch and whatever, but it is also the best time ever to open while this, open ourselves widely to these new experiences and connect to this source of divine energy and let it flow, because the experience of it is just like a roller coaster. I mean, the emotion you get out of it, the openness you get of consciousness, the openness you get into your heart is infinite. And everywhere around, Annette, everywhere around, like either it is in workshop or people I meet, it's like on and on and on, transmutation of old energy, old words, old habits, and like rising like phoenix. It's like there is not middle thing. It's like boom, like you come from your old way of thinking to divine alignment with angels singing. And
right.
This is what I experienced in Dieppe, like with this activation. Like people will come under the drum with the shaman, and I will do the activation, and they get out and there's a smile and enlightenment, and they're like, what just happened? And we were like, welcome back. Welcome to your true essence. You're gonna have so much fun with discovering who you truly are, and like opening your eyes maybe for the first time, rising like a phoenix for some of us, or just going beyond what everything you just like thought you knew. And this is what is amazing, and I believe this is why we're doing this live stream, and why we're doing this workshop, the extraordinary journey to your intuition, isn't it?
Yes. And I love the fact that you were saying, like, when you get into that flow and you're into that flow state, and allow the energy to move through you and allow it to happen, because when we resist it, that's when you start having the symptoms. That's when you start having issues. That's when, all of those things. So it can be blockages. It can also be the fact that you're resisting the transformation. It can be all kinds of different reasons why you might feel physical symptoms or energetic symptoms of what is happening. And then the compounding component of this is that this is not only happening for us on an individual level, but it is also happening for us on a collective level, on an earth level. So Gaia is also in her ascension process. So it's like these things are happening on so many different layers and levels that ultimately it's going to affect us all in different ways at different times. So just because somebody might be experiencing something now doesn't mean that you won't experience it in the future, or maybe you've already experienced it and somebody else is going to experience it later. It just depends on where you are in your journey, and what the collective is also going through.
Yes, perfectly said. Yes. So then moving forward, maybe we can give a little bit of a structure of how this life is going to be organized, and you're the best person out of us both, Annette. So maybe first maybe introduce yourself, because like it is a live stream and a public live stream. So we have our community, both of us, we have a community, and I see them in the chat. We're going to say hello to all the people connecting to the chat right now. Just for you to know, I have send out the link to invitation link to go join us in the private studio for the person that have been selected to receive the free guidance. We can also use this line for the people that wants to ask direct questions in the studio to us. Otherwise, you just place your question in the chat for the person that don't want to appear on the studio live, and we will answer it. So please connect with us, talk to us. I'll be like getting my eyes on the chat to talk to you. So thank you so much for joining. And so let's move forward with who we are, which is the question: who are we? Annette, you can go first.
So my name is Annette Dalloo, and I am an Akashic conduit. So basically what I do is I go into the Akashic records for my clients, and I help them to transcend repeating patterns in their life, help them understand relationships, help them understand their soul purpose and life purpose, and why they incarnated in this lifetime, and what their overarching story is for their soul. And then I also do channeling. I also do guidance for your spiritual journey, and as well as being able to help you through those tough times when you're going through your spiritual awakening. And that's where Angie comes in also, because that's how we connected originally, which was through a spiritual group here in Paris talking about awakening. And Angie, if you want to go ahead and tell everybody what you do.
Yes. So usually my name is written there with my title, but today, of course, everything is glitching. So I am Angie Decanales, and among the many things I do, I am mainly a multidimensional being, I would say. So I am a therapist. I am expert in different kind of modality in hypnosis, so QHHT, or also creative protocols and trauma healings. And I'm a spiritual teacher, but very humbly. And I also do workshop and training courses in the area of spirituality, hypnosis, healing modality, and of course intuitions and mediumship, which is really dear to my heart, because I was basically born on the other side of the spectrum here, more in tune with the subtle realm than the physicality. So I am what we call a medium child. And for me, mediumship is so much more than what we perceive to be as kind of folklore way of seeing it. And this is actually why I am doing this live with you, and why I am doing all this workshop and doing all this training, so that we can reconnect back to who we really are as a human being, what it means to be a human being, and connect to this inner embedded technology that we have, and that is dormant for the moment, and that we call the clair, all this psychic ability, which is only normal abilities. There's nothing surhuman about it, but we're going to talk about it, and we're going to talk what it is to be a medium, and how we can further develop these abilities. So I'll let you talk about the program.
So first, we're going to sort of discuss what it means to have psychic gifts, what it means to be a medium, and oftentimes people have a tendency to think one thing, or maybe they were taught one thing when they were younger, or maybe they sort of knew somebody who had these skills and sort of have these preconceived notions. So Angie and I are going to sort of clean the slate and sort of remove any preconceived notions and help you to sort of really explore within yourself what it is that you truly have within you as a gift. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the challenges that you can go through while going through your spiritual journey, your spiritual awakening. And then we are going to take some questions in the chat as well. If you want to put in any sort of questions, you can put them in throughout the time we're talking. And then as we go through the question and answer, we'll go through them. And then we're going to do little mini guidance sessions for each one of the lovely souls right here in the studio.
Yes. So Justina, Bianca, and Joan, we will get to you once we reach the free guidance courses. But if you want to come and join us and you have a question, please don't hesitate to show it to me, because I can see everything from my side.
Yes. Wonderful.
So, let's start.
Wonderful. So one of the things that Angie and I were chatting about early on. So just to get a little background, Angie and I had started developing what this workshop is going to be. We started developing this well over a year ago. And we really have sort of developed things individually as well as together. And a lot of what we've discovered is that when people have expectations of what psychic gifts are supposed to look like, they feel like, oh, well, I should be clairvoyant, let's say. And, I should be able to see things and like see things with my eyes. Like I should be able to see an outline of somebody's aura, or I should be able to see, a spirit that is not crossed over yet. I should be able to see that spirit. And people have these preconceived notions of that is how it is. And if you don't have that, then clearly you don't have any sort of psychic gift. And that's 100% incorrect. So basically, what we discovered is that when you are focusing on just one small picture, you're focusing on one small bit of the picture, you might actually miss where your psychic gifts are really the strongest. So maybe you are more clairsentient, which is more in the the feeling of something. Or maybe you're more clairaudient, which is hearing, or sort of picking up on little tones or sounds, or maybe you're really into music, that sort of thing. So there's so many different ways that your psychic gifts can sort of come online. And that's one of the things that we really want you to take away from this live stream, is that there are so many different ways that your gifts can come in. Don't negate any of them until you start discovering what is really true for you.
Yes, this is often the case when we do either private session, because when I do hypnosis, people can come and actually tell me, okay, I want a session with you and I want to discover my gift. I want to open to my clair abilities, to my psychic abilities, or in the workshop or training. And actually, one of the major issues is people will come and say, I am blocked. So I am blocked, I cannot access it. And I used to have these abilities when I was a child, but then I blocked it. So this is something we have as a feedback, and we can relate to it. I mean, I can relate to it, because until you have some sort of education about it, or like true knowledge about it, which is in line with all the teaching, like from the Hermeticism, the Rosicrucians, the Templars, ancient civilization. I mean, everyone is talking about, like this, the way that humans here are here on the journey, on the path to self-discovery and self-mastery. So the thing is that when we live in this reality that is actually teaching us or educating us or conditioning us to believe what is possible and what is not possible, everything that range out of this conditioning possible, it's considered outcast, it's considered divergent, it's considered sometimes wrong, or if you're from like religious, very religious, like current, you can also be hindering because you can be considered as a witch in a very, in the very negative way of sense of it, like I used to be, for instance, or you can be, it can cost a lot. Like, let's say, like we have like a few or a lot of examples in the past during the Inquisition, and so forth, where it costed you to be divergent or to remember the true essence of what it means to be incarnated here, to go through this human experience and who we truly are, which is the ultimate question that everyone is asking, where you just, like for an instance, just look at where we are and just, stop running everywhere and just look around and just ask the question, but what is this? This is the question of existentialism. Who am I? What is this place here? What is this ball, blue ball? Just being out of the space here, and where are we? So
right.
this is always the question. Then when we come back to this reality, it looks so real, it looks so physical, it looks so so solid, I would say. So then when you feel that you're attuned to something else, you start to have this feeling, this emotion, this sensation, this inner knowing, the vision, then you start to be a little bit in crisis, and you're asking yourself, oh my God, what's happening to me? Because I was conditioned to believe that reality was this, with this ethic and this moral, but I do feel that to me this is something else, or I am able to type into something else. And then come fears, the fear of being crazy, which is the first one, the fear of being rejected by society, which come from the original fears of being outcasted from the cave originally. So on my part, I choose to be educated in psychogenealogy as well, because I was fascinated by everything we can learn from this ancestors' heritage, how it works, and how all these informations are stored in our memory cells. And that's a little bit where I come from, to also understand the divergence, understand human being, understand the gift, and understand mediumship. So to me, mediumship is like breathing, basically. But before you came to these conclusions and you understand it, we are going to a little bit slow down and go back to maybe, all this, like vocabulary of what it means to be a medium. And by the way, welcome to all the divergent, all the persons that have been outcast and accused of being rich or whatever. I mean, this is the place to be, to actually feel safe and understand that nothing is wrong with you. In the contrary, you are awakening and you are tapping into something that is so amazingly beautiful and strong and life-changing, that you're right there in the right place to discover who you truly are.
And not only that, but one thing that I've really loved exploring myself is understanding that ultimately we all have these mediumship gifts. We all have these psychic gifts. We all have it. Every single person
Yes.
on this planet, every single person on this planet has a soul purpose. Every single person on this planet is divine source light. And so ultimately, if you have the perception, and I'm saying this specifically in this way, if you have the perception that you do not have your spiritual gifts yet, it is not because you don't have them. You already possess them. Everybody already possesses them. It is about the fact that you have either blocks, or maybe in your soul plan you came into this world with sort of that veil that everything is sort of hiding behind, and so you had to go through the process of awakening in order to discover these gifts. So whatever your journey is, it's going to be unique to you. But what Angie and I are talking about today, and as well as in the workshops, is everybody has a unique way of discovering all of these gifts and where your place is in the world. And the best way to do that is through community. It's through gathering us all together. It's by having us all in the same place and discussing what it is that we've gone through, what challenges we've had. And you're going to be like incredibly surprised to see how many people are going to be like, yes, 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 I went through that too. I went through that too. I went through that too. And oftentimes when like, especially during times like this with the, the feeling of it being Mercury retrograde, how I know that a lot of people are feeling that is because I get a lot of my clients that will write to me, and then, I'll chat with my friends who were all sort of, in our own way, spiritually minded. So that's how you connect and you find out how to get through some of these blockages. That's how you connect with others. And it's the most beautiful thing, because it's very difficult to discover who you really are when you're sort of operating in a vacuum of your own mind, because you have to get out of the mind, get into the heart, and exist in the heart, and then be able to see how that is going to unfold for you. And that's actually one of the things that Angie is incredible at, by the way. And that is her, the brain heart coherence that she does. It's connecting you to your heart space. So to be able to live through your heart space and not your mind.
Yes. So you talk about mediumship and the fact that the vocabulary is very important, because the way you perceive yourself is always like kind of labeling something. And when we tapped into mediumship, discovering our gift, connecting the heart to the mind, we really back to the fundamental of this. Of what we're doing here is this self-growth. And first, it starts by cleaning. It's contemplations of different, like way of reacting, fears, trauma, and then go into a journey of understanding, how to clean or to transmute the trauma, or to transform ourselves so that we can upgrade and let the energy of life, reach different level of chakras, so that at every level of the journey, because our journey is linked to the chakra journey, it's not that linear, but we will always, in one incarnation, have challenges regarding the root chakra, which is linked to family. That's why whatever we do, we always start by addressing, like the trauma or the difficulties you experience during your childhood, because this is where the newborn, the child, or the new soul born, will actually crystallize most of the challenges that are going to be part of the initiatic journey that the soul is going to find as challenges. This is the pattern of challenges that the soul is going to find. So depending what the mission of the soul is, what the lesson is, what they choose to learn in one incarnations, if we believe in it. I mean, we are going to first choose the biology of it, the biological memory cells that are presenting with different sets of conditioning programming, whether it is trauma, whether it is talent, what bloodlines, like what kind of energy is there in the bloodline to actually activate the full mission of the soul. So throughout the whole journey, the soul is going to find challenges, like in the roots chakra family. So that's why we have all of us, because I receive people every day to help them, like transcend their wounds and heal and find power out of it and understand who they are, what they choose is this, their mother, their father, and the sisters and all of us. I mean, there is terrible stories that sets in the childhood of people that have been inherited from generation to generation. And this is the beauty of it. We'd like to understand that this is how everything works. It's like embedded together. If you want to open your heart, if you want to open your gift, if you want to feel joy, if you want to be harmonized, it's all like rooted in this first understanding of what lies in your lineage, in the ancestors, because it's not only your family. If when I go back like this and I do work with the person, we first start by cleaning, like the generational trauma and the childhood, the inner child shadow works, but it goes very far to the karmic. That's why I do also regressive hypnosis, and then we find out that we inherit the collective unconscious wounds, and that's fascinating, because when we understand that first and foremost, then we can really, like slowly, action, like bit by bit, work on opening to gift, opening to the energy, understand what's going on, understand why we have this blockage, why we repeatedly find ourselves in toxic relationship, for example, why we repeatedly trying to get this job or get this I don't know, get going this company, and we can't. So everything is always, like embedded in the same knowledge that we are here, the soul is here to develop and learn lessons, and these lessons are going to be rooted in the memory cells and in the karmic energetic of the soul.
Yeah.
So when we do brain heart coherence, it's first and foremost to calm down. Because the thing is that sometimes we are so stressed out by everything, like everything is happening in our life. So the first thing is to come out of the victim mentality and just go be an observer, just breathe and calm the heart, calm the mind, so that we can have access to your story. So yes, I have become an expert into getting this coherence, so that I can talk to the heart, talk to the soul, and also talk to the mental brain, and understand where the fears are, where the blockages are, so that we can slowly, gently, like start breathing and work together in this, like a beautiful, safe space to address, whatever is still, like wounded, traumatized.
I have a question for everyone, actually. And if you're here live, or if you're watching this on the replay, I would like to see sort of a show of opinion on what people think of this, because I have heard recently a lot of sort of spiritual teachers and other spiritual communities, people saying, well, the past is irrelevant. Don't look at the past, because the more you look at the past, the more you're going to live in it, and that sort of thing. And from my perspective, to sort of answer that question from where I'm coming from, I feel like it's important to look at the past if it's still affecting your present. So if you are running cycles like you were talking about, Angie, like if they are ancestral cycles that are running in your consciousness as well as running in your actual 3D life, then yeah, it's important to look at them because that's how you're going to clear them. That's how you're going to actually move through them and transmute that energy. If you don't look at those things from the past, whether they're past lives, whether it's from your childhood, whether it's from your ancestry, whether it's from your soul lineage, whatever it happens to be, if it's still replaying in your experience over and over and over again, and you're not able to get to where you need to go, then clearly it's something that needs to be addressed. So I'm curious as to, if there are people out there that feel like we don't need to address the past or whatever your opinion may be. I'm curious to see what you might have to say about that, because it's, I think there are times when that is warranted, where it is warranted to just move forward, because sometimes people can get stuck in the past. And that's where some of those blockages can come in. And it is about really going within, like Angie is saying, and connecting to the heart and understanding where those particular things are coming from and why. Are you perpetuating a cycle yourself? Because sometimes from our own wounding, we can perpetuate our own cycles. And sometimes the best thing that we can do is just to let that go entirely and move forward. So from that perspective, yes, not looking at the past in that respect would be the best thing to do. But then if you have something else that has been going on for generations, if there's a generational trauma, that is absolutely something that needs to be looked at and cleared.
Yes. So anyway, we always say in spirituality that, and other places, that past, present, and future are just one thing together, because everything's happening in the present. But
exactly
that for us, taking into consideration the linear time that we experience here in the low vibrations, addressing this. Everything stored from the epigenetic to ancestors' wound, and how to transmute is key to actually use this. What I feel like is a technology. It's an embedded technology that we can have access, everyone here, and you really start by self-contemplations to actually understand what is your belief, what is your core belief system. And I think that it's quite difficult, because I see in session, when I talk to people, they're so closed in this reality tunnel, because we all have a unique reality tunnel that is composed of the education, the culture, the belief system of the family, and also all the experience that we had being rejected, humiliating, unfairly treated, betrayed, and so forth. So each individual here is going to operate first through persona, through a set of forces, identity. And the idea, the game, is to open to unity consciousness, is to open very widely to the idea that everything we are is always impermanent, or everything we experience is always impermanent, because it's always a shift of energy, a shift of state of mind, of state of being, of state of emotions. So you may start, by having a certain set of value, ethical morals, and you are going to stand your ground of this. Believe in the belief that there is conflict, there is separations. And when you open yourself to this growth, observation, and start healing and transmuting energy, you have so many epiphany moments where you just either cry a lot because things are falling apart, your system believes it's falling apart, who you thought you were is just going away, because you actually understand that you are so much more, you are something else, but then you don't know who you are.
Right.
When you open to the new belief, you get out of this reality tunnel, what you thought was normality, what you thought was all the things you've been fighting about, and then you open your consciousness and you understand that everything is always moving, everything is always evolving, and that the only thing you can be sure about is that you know nothing.
Yes.
And in the middle of all this, all of a sudden, there is no more drama, because there is only this experience here and now in the present moment, and whether you are going to solidify a fake identity that is going to provide you with a certain kind of what is reality, or if you are going to harmonize your different aspects and always open to newness, new experience, new concept, and then get closer to union within and within, and union outside with this, what we call this unity consciousness, which ultimately is the consciousness of the whole of everything that exists, of everything that encompasses, which is what gives us the most ecstatic experience, because the soul here is in search of this unity. That's why we have so many problems in relationship here, and everyone try to fusion, like in relationship, we have so much expectation on everyone, and I believe this is the game.
Yeah. One of the hardest things for me, I think, Angie, in my entire journey thus far, and I say thus far because we're always evolving, as you're saying, we're always changing, we're always moving. So this is a continuous thing that is happening. But up until this point, I think the hardest thing for me has been to be in that in-between space, in that void. So if you can imagine, like, you're leaving the old version of yourself, you're leaving that old identity, whatever that happens to be. But yet, let's say the new version of yourself is not really ready yet, or it's not come online yet. You haven't quite discovered it. And you're sort of living in this in-between space of basically transmuting old energies, moving out of who you used to be and not knowing who you're going to become. And living in that void space, first of all, it's a beautiful space, but it's a scary space as well, because that's where things can be created. Like it's the limits are I mean, it's limitless, I should say. There are no limits in that space. So ultimately, you have everything at your disposal to be able to create and manifest and become. And oftentimes, what happened for me is that I would still cling on to the old because I wasn't ready to let go of it yet, because I couldn't see what was coming. And it's like, okay, I want to see what's coming first before I let go, because I don't know what's going to happen if I let go, and then there's just going to be nothing around me and I'm just going to be floating in the middle of nowhere, right? So that's one of the things that I think is the hardest for most people, in fact, because it's terrifying sometimes to let go of who you were without any definition of who you're going to become. So what are some of the things that you have done, Angie, and I'll share some of the things that I've done as well, that kind of helped you through those transitions? Because I know you thrive on those.
Yeah.
You love them.
Oh yeah, I love it. I mean, I think the path we choose here when we incarnate is always attuned to eventually, like what you are going to give back to the collective. So in my case, I had a broad range of chaos, growing up, and which helped me, be very resistant, resilient, and not be afraid of chaos, of change. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But saying that, of course, like the major part of this evolution and transmutation and getting the gift is surrender. Is surrender, is faith, is non-resistance.
Mhm.
And everything we did that is difficult for us here, because it's like we want to be sure, you know, we want to control things, we don't want to be suffering, we don't want to be hurt. But the thing is that every time we evolve, we change, we transform, we heal. It's about getting out of a comfort zone.
Yeah.
So the universe is always about contraction and expansion, contraction and expansion. So everything that happens as a microcosm will mirror back in the microcosm. You know, this is what we say in the mystery school. So everything we experience within our own journey, the universe is also experiencing it, because every time you transmute something, the universe is also transmuting, because this is the entanglement that this quantum science talk about. We are all interconnecting energetically. We are all energetic beings. I mean, this is being proven by mainstream science now, by amazing cognitive scientists like Donald Hoffman, that wrote The Case Against Reality, where he actually assert that this reality is holographic, that space and time is doomed. But we will not go there today, because I love to go there, but we narrow it to what the question was, is that how you navigate so that you can upgrade, ascend, and slowly but slowly get out of your comfort zone. So the thing I've done, and this is actually the reason why, you know, like I became a therapist and a psychogenealogist, and at all this modality that I'm using in hypnosis, it's because I asked myself the questions like, it became, at one point in my life, it became too much. Like when I receive the people, they say to me, like, I don't know what to do with myself anymore. I am in burnout, I'm crying, I'm desperate. I don't know how to stop the noise or to stop the ruminations. Please help, help, help. So I was one of them. So I needed to understand how to help myself. And then I after this huge awakening that I experienced, I had many of them, but I had one huge awakening that actually got me into diving and understanding how I'm going to help myself. So I discovered ancestors wound healing. I discovered hypnosis as a modality to help to heal. I discovered the power of the power of community, of gathering to your soul family. I discovered the power of assertion, like being assertive, and how it was to transmute energy. So it's everything we talk about: inner child healing, shadow work. So I got interested into Carl Jung's, you know, like inner child, actually inner self actualizations, and he was talking about all the different aspects that was part of the energetic field of one incarnating being, and the fact that we are asked to it's almost do diplomacy, like use diplomacy to actually understand which part of us is in conflict, which part of us is being rejected, and go dive into the wounds. Just let, you know, like breathe into the wound, the fear, the hurt, and not resist it. That's key, you know. And this is what we call in spirituality the dark night of the soul, isn't it?
Yeah.
And just breathe into it so that you understand that once you get you allow the suffering, you allow the pain, then this is when you really get access to yourself, your inner self, and you can do healing. When you know these parts you've been rejected through the different modality, you know, like hypnosis, psychology, psychogenealogy, healing job, guidance is necessary, but it's really by looking inward that you can actually start transmuting and getting the courage to get out of your comfort zone. Because once you understand where it comes from and how to heal it, and that you're not a victim of it, and it's not personal, and that is part of the human experience, and there is guideline, and we are here to give them because we experience that, then everything starts to make sense. And for me, this is what made the most differences in my journey, is to understand that everything that I'd been experienced and all the suffering wasn't for nothing. That everything was part of a beautiful divine symphony. And when I get connected to my true self and my soul mission, everything will make sense, which is what is happening now. So that's how you navigate in this upgrade. That's how you navigate in transcending and understanding your own self. But it does require a lot of soul searching. It does require an investment in yourself, and to not hesitate to get in touch with people that attracts you, you feel in resonance to, that actually walk the path and can assist you in this healing journey. And I really say assist you or inspire you, because ultimately, and this is what we do, like when we offer to whomever feels attracted by us, counseling, guidance, therapy or workshop, is to know that we will set up, like a safe space and give all the guidance, but ultimately you are the one walking the path and transmuting. And whatever we do, you can do. So we learn from you, you learn from us, but ultimately it's really understand that it's going to be a one soul journey to actually become whole.
Absolutely. And one of the things that sometimes we feel guilty about is investing in ourselves, investing time, investing money, investing effort and energy. And I know when I was going through my first big dark night of the soul, and I had no idea what was happening to me, and I didn't know there was help available out there for me. And so, like you, Angie, you were saying that this is why you do what you do, and absolutely this is why I'm doing what I'm doing as well, because I went through many months and years of pain and suffering without knowing that there was actually help out there, without even knowing really what was happening. I didn't even know I was going through a spiritual awakening for the first few years. So I wanted to make sure that everybody has the access and the ability to have tools, to have information, to have as much information as possible. And then when it comes down to it, understanding that actually investing in yourself, your spiritual health, your mental health, your physical health, all of that, as well as your just discovering who you are and where you're going, is probably one of the most important things you will ever do in this life. And so to actually take that step for me was really hard initially, because I knew once I sort of got to that place of understanding that I was going through all this suffering, I was going through all these cycles, and I didn't really know what to do. I didn't have the tools. And when I finally discovered that I could join community that would help, or that I had mentors myself that I worked with initially. And when I first made that leap to start working with mentors and, like, paying them weekly to work with me, to work through these things, initially I was like, "Oh gosh, I don't know if I want to do that." And it's like, but we're more than happy to go and spend any amount of money on a dinner, or on an experience, a vacation, whatever. But this is actually one of the most important things you can do for your life, because once I made that investment in myself, the time, the money, the energy, the everything changed for me. Everything changed. And now, does that mean that was the only dark night of the soul I ever had? Nope. I had many of them. But I can tell you that when you get out of those, they do get shorter and shorter and shorter. And I remember, Angie, you said this to me a couple of years ago. You said, you'll get to a point where you look forward to them. And and I remember laughing because I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I'll be looking forward to them. But I understand what you mean now, because yes, of course, like, they're not fun to go through. But on the other side of all of those dark nights of the soul are always a gift. You
Yeah.
always have some sort of awakening or some sort of opening up of your energy to see more of who you are as a soul, to see more of these gifts, to see more of all of these things. And that is something that's important to mention too, is that when you're in a dark night of the soul, that's really not the time to say, well, where are my spiritual gifts? Because ultimately your focus has to be on the healing. It can't be on, well, I know I'm hurting and I'm in a lot of guilt and shame and anger, but why aren't I seeing anything? Like, so that's why, with the way that both Angie and I work, the first thing we do is we do the clearing. We do the clearing. We give you the tools to help yourself move through these patterns, to move through the challenging situations, so you can get to the other side in a way that it is aligned for you. I'm not going to say quickly, because sometimes it's not quick. Sometimes it can be. Sometimes it can happen in an instant, but sometimes it takes longer, and it just depends on who you are, what you're working through. But it'll allow you to not be stuck in that place. It'll allow you to not be blocked anymore. And the whole reason for this live stream is, what is blocking your intuition? Well, sometimes it is those actual blocks that are actually preventing you from getting to your intuition. And it's literally like peeling off like a layer of mud or gook over the bright shining ball of light that you are. And so that's what you're uncovering it. Um you're not getting these gifts, like, they're not given to you, meaning that, like, oh, you're worthy, so now you get them. That's not how I believe it works. I believe that you already have them. It's about actually discovering them.
Yes, and there's something that is very recurrent and that I experience, and I believe everyone experiences, is self-worth.
Mhm.
How you value yourself. This is really key, because all your reality, and that's also the purpose of what we're doing in self-development and taking it very seriously, because we tend to reverse focusing on exterior, like my career, my relationship, or
Mm.
everything you're going to build is connected, is the reflect, is the mirror of your
Mhm.
unconscious. So if you are still like in fear, if you don't feel worthy, like I'm not enough or not enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not enough, or you tell yourself every day, I can't do that, I'm blocked, it will never happen to me, I was never good at. All these are energetic technology language to actually program the mind. So this is how it works. So everything that is going to be created in your reality comes from your belief system, come from your intentions, come from either you are still in rejection of yourself, in this belief of of this face that you are this beautiful energy incarnated. And I think that's why it's the first things to as you said, to address when we do mediumship enhancement or psychic abilities. And you're right, it is embedded. We just come to believe that this is the extraordinary, but this is actually the ordinary. We are, I mean, immense and beautiful. But that's the perk of this human experience. This is like sometimes a cruel game, but
Mhm.
it's a game of evolution, of soul evolutions, I believe.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, you and I are absolute proof of that as well, because, you, Angie, you've had access to your gifts from a very early age. Whereas, I mean, I had my access to my gifts when I was young, but I don't remember. I can see it now when I see it through my soul, but I can't, I can't remember from my human self. But for a majority of my life until about 12 years ago, maybe 12, 13 years ago, I basically just thought, oh yeah, my intuition is okay. Like I, have a gut feeling here and there, and that was it. So I never once thought that this would be something that I would be doing with my life. And actually, I did have a Vedic astrologer tell me this is what I was going to be doing with my life when I turned about 50, and I thought he was crazy. I was like, "You're nuts. That's not something I'm ever going to do."
Yeah.
And so, and now here we are, So,
Yeah.
it's something that is incredible to discover. It can be
Yes.
scary to discover.
Yes.
It can be hard.
Mhm.
It can be a joyous journey. It can be every single version of every emotion you've ever had.
Mhm.
But I can tell you right now that it is 100% worth it, or at least it has been for me. And I'm fairly certain, Angie, you would feel the same.
Yeah, I mean, that's very funny what you said, because it's the same. If one day someone would have told me, oh, okay, one day you will be this medium person and teaching spirituality and everything that linked to philosophy, science, mysticism, esotericism, so forth, I would have said, what? No. All right, okay, because that is the surprise of the universe.
Mhm.
When you let go, you don't resist, and you understand that this is a process. Everything is a process. We are undergoing a process. Ultimately, the Rosicrucian were saying that we are here to learn freedom and love. We are here. It is says that the Earth planet is a planet of learning, freedom, and love, and we're like, oh, okay, so freedom and love, but I mean, how does it work? Because then it is paradoxal. Uh, like freedom is separations, and love is unity. So how does it work? How can you get free in the world where there is so much suffering and slavery, and so how does it work? Um, and the thing is, this is always the same thing we find. Like, we are in a world that is about duality. So whatever you do, you cannot escape the matrix. You cannot escape dualities. You cannot escape the process, because the process is about merging, every time merging dualities, integrating the master. Understand that you are also the shadow.
Mhm.
You, like in the spiritual realm, sometimes people talk about like being light and being lighting, and that was part of my journey. That's why I resonate so much, and I'm so good at dealing with the monster side and the shadow side. I just thrive on it, because when you connect to the darkest part of yourself, you also connect to the darkest part of humanity, because we are one ultimately. And when you type and you are very honest and conscious that you are also the shadow of this world, you are also uh, the one that reject, you are also the one that abandon, you are also, like, it may be different stories, and you can say, oh, but I've done it because of this, this guy did this because of this. It's always the same thing. This is the process. The process is about harmonizing all dualities and recognizing that we are also the dark side of this reality. So once this process is like understood, so that you can actually embrace the truth of what we truly are, and the truth that love is also hatred, that
Mm.
everything is invaded and everything is a certain degree of something else, then you can move more smoothly and peacefully into life, into the process. Because the first thing is to find a way to love yourself.
Mhm.
I understand that freedom, true freedom, is not about escaping and avoiding something which we all tends to do. You know, like we avoid conversation, we avoid facing our responsibility, we just run away very far away. You know, to not face the dark things of things. You know, and not experience suffering. And some people in the spiritual realm, they really want to escape the matrix.
Yeah.
I was one of them. When I was a child, I wanted to escape this one. I wanted to run away. But then you understand that freedom is about being peaceful, serene, no matter what happened, because everything is love. So then there's the question about ego. There's the people will say, yeah, but look at what is going at ethic and morality. But then, you know, like it's always about getting back to the present moment, being present, and understanding that there is conflict out there because there is conflict in there, inside of us. And the answer to freedom and love will always be to look within and find a peaceful way, diplomatic way to sort out your own issues.
Yes. And one thing that I find, I find it amusing now. I probably didn't find it amusing when I was going through it, but whenever you get to a place where you say, I don't think I could ever do that.
Yeah.
I don't think I could ever love that person because they did this, this, and this. I don't think I can ever forgive this person because they did this, this, and this to me. Okay. So the universe is going to say, oh, you don't think you can? Okay, let's see. And so they keep on giving you the same situation over and over and over again until you actually say, oh, right. Okay. Now I can forgive, or now I can love, or now I can move through that experience with that feeling of embracing that shadow within myself. And the thing is that if you resist it and if you continue to say, well, no, I can never forgive this person. Do you know what they did to me? This is their problem. They did this to me. You know, you continue in that sort of the victim sort of template. You will be shown that victim template over and over and over again until you're able to move through it and embrace it and understand that that is part of your shadow that you need to look at. And the universe is really beautiful at giving us those tests. And I've received those tests many, many times, let's put it that way. And so when you have those tests, one of the fun things about going through this and now being in a place where you've been through it enough times, where when the universe gives you another one of these tests and you're like, oh, I know what this is. Oh, okay. No, I'm not going to fall for that this time. Okay. So now I need to work on my forgiveness. I need to work on this. I need to work on this. Okay, cool. Let's do this, you know? So then you actually start looking forward to doing that work and understanding where it is you really have to look, where you have to do the energetic work, where you have to do the reprogramming, like as Angie was talking about, when you have to do each one of these little things. And you might ask, how do I know when to do what? How do I know when to do the energy work, or when to do the reprogramming, or when to do this? And that's where, you know, the workshop that Angie and I have coming up is going to help you with those types of tools so you can know when to do what. So you know, okay, so if you're really in something, maybe you just need to feel. Maybe you just need to feel it for a little while in order to integrate it. Maybe you need to actually clear the energy from your body. Maybe it needs to be cleared from your energy field. It just depends on what happens to be going on. But once you have the tools, you will always have them, and you will always be able to move through whatever comes your way.
Yeah. Ultimately, it's about going through like the challenges and transcend them so that you can like give back to the collective what you understood and what works for you. And I believe this workshop is full of all the modality and learnings and understanding we have, plus having this agility to actually download, give guidance, and have this feedback, because we are all each other's mirrors. And the beauty of being in a workshop is that you can be sure, 100% sure, that all the person coming to one workshop, like self-development, mediumship, like all these workshops, there will always be a connection. There will always be a part of the puzzle that is missing for you. So it's like you have the facilitator, like us, guiding and counseling, giving therapy, opening to gift or to new understanding, but it's also each of us here present that are going to teach, that are going to actually find resonance and with each other. And that's why it's so life-changing to come to participate into this kind of workshop, retreat, self-development journey, because you can be 100% sure that you're going to find your gem in it. Maybe not the one you're looking for. So then we need to process, like the unsatisfaction when, like, oh, but I wanted to come to talk to my guide. Yeah, but you got a beautiful, like transmutation of your inner child rejection wounds, and so now you can navigate more fluidly in your life. So it's always about, like understanding that you have a certain intention, you come to an experience, and you can be sure you're going to be surprised, because whatever you're going to get, it is exactly what you need to get at this present moment. And sometimes it doesn't really make sense straight away. But then 1 week, 1 month, 1 year after, you're like, oh my God, should I not get into this workshop or in therapy in this? I would not have understood, like this piece of information. So it's always retroactive.
Yeah.
Because there is no past, present, and future. So everything we're doing, it's always retroactive. Like, for example, I had an experience like not a long time ago where I took a picture with someone, and that's funny because the picture was like a message from the future. So it really makes sense, like to see the picture and understand, because some event unfolded after, and it was like, oh, okay, I received the message through this picture, but I just now realized. And it's always like this, like you have messages from your future self, and so paying attention to synchronicity is also something that we are going to address during the workshop. Understanding feedback loops, informations, what is your higher self telling you. It's not only attuning to certain abilities, it's understanding how to use your gut feelings, your intuitions, the synchronicities, the information that are in the external reality, so that you understand what you are working on, what is the lessons of what is the lesson, what is the learning curve, and what choice is it's offering, presenting to you, so that you can do something different, and not get stuck in a pattern. So why are we, like looking into mediumship, intuition, and abilities? Because, like usually we look at benefits. What is it going to bring me in my life? Well, basically everything. Because when you choose a path, when you make a decisions, when you talk to somebody else, it's always going to create the next step of your reality. So if you are still a little bit closed off, narrow, and you don't have this mindfulness about yourself or understanding of the process of it all, and intuition, how does it work, then you get kind of stuck into sometimes a lot of suffering for nothing. So being attuned to your intuition, because we talk about mediumship and abilities, but being in tune to your intuition is whatever you do. Doesn't need to be spiritual, doesn't need to go into depth into self-development. It's on everyday basis. Maybe you are a finance manager, maybe you are a banker, maybe you are, like whatever you do in your reality, it's a tool that is going to, once it is more, used, going to give you so much more way to harness your reality and be a conscious creator of it.
Mm. Yeah. And just to sort of transition into why we're here, and we're going to get to the readings, the little mini readings, very shortly. But one of the things I wanted to mention is that we're going to sort of continue this conversation in a master class. If you would like to know more about that, that's going to be coming up in the next couple of weeks. Feel free to head to my website at infinitesoulLove.com. You can sign up for the newsletter there, and we will keep you posted on when this masterclass is going to be happening. It is going to be registration. It will be free, but you will have to register for the masterclass itself. And when you register, I also have a nice Akashic guide meditation on my website. If you want to download that, that's also free as well. And then also you can also contact Angie on Facebook as well if you would like to be keeping in the loop about the masterclass. And then also the workshop that Angie is talking about is called The Extraordinary Journey to Your Intuition. And we're doing 3 dates at the moment, and it's a 3-day workshop. The first one is in Paris, and that is going to be January 26th, 27th, and 28th. The second one is going to be in London, and that's going to be February 23rd, 24th, and 25th. And then Amsterdam, which will be May 31st, June 1st, and 2nd. So you can read more about this also on my website. If you go to the store on infinitesoulLove.com, go to the store, you'll see all 3 of those events posted on the website. You'll be able to get all of the information. We have our itinerary, all of the benefits that Angie was mentioning, all of the things that you can gain from working with us for 3 full days. So you're going to be getting activations, you're going to be getting tools, you're going to be having experiences, you're going to be getting individualized attention. It's going to be an incredibly transformative experience for everyone, including ourselves. So yeah, if you want to add anything else, Angie, otherwise we can get started on the readings.
Yes, about those workshop, the particularity that we both have is you are a master at connecting to the Akashic records. Mm-hmm. And I think this is something that is very important, because whatever you choose, you always have to choose in resonance to your heart and what's attracting you. So you have a unique way of helping people access the Akashic. And you also, are an incredible, insightful spiritual teacher. You have helped me so much as well in my journey. So I think this is important to present to the audience the quality and the devotions that we both have, and the purity, because I am all about purity. And on my side, what sets me apart is really this way of I would say make people fly. Fly to their unconscious realm and access this, different kind of consciousness being gift. It's always like this. I'm really all about this immersive experience of mysticism. So I love, going into trance mode and helping people getting into this trance mode and having some group experience. And I'm also a channel of this beautiful source energy. And when it flows in the heart. Yeah. So yeah. I would just say, if you want to join us, be prepared, because it's just not about being sitting and taking notes. It's a full experience, immersive experience, where you are going to feel and to explore the depths of what it is in your heart and what you can access. So I would just say, yeah, be prepared because that's going to be fun and that's going to be experiential.
And I also want to just as a little side note as well, in one of the workshops, I actually had somebody say, well, I don't know if I can come because I'm in really low energy right now. And that is the best time to come, because that is how we're going to help you push through some of the energies that you may be stuck in. So if you feel like you're going through a dark night of the soul and you're like, oh, I don't want to bring the group down, or I don't want to come in, just know that every single group is curated by the universe. So if you're attracted to a particular workshop or anything, it doesn't even have to be ours. Whatever workshop you're attracted to, the universe is sort of cultivating the right energy with the right people at the right time. So just know that you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be ready in terms of like, oh, I have to be in higher vibration. No, you can just come exactly how you are right now in the present moment and experience what you're going to experience.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing I would say about this workshop is that it's very fun because I was looking for this kind of workshop when I got activated and I got very curious, but couldn't really find anything in France, for example, because American are so much more advanced or other culture. I don't know all of them, but because I get a lot of teaching from English-speaking lands, I can assess that there's a difference, and the merging of Annette and I, it's a merging of culture, it's a merging of different, abilities as well, and that what makes it very interesting is that the devotion and the time we spend to learn and to get information from different country, different culture, it's also like the reflection of this workshop we are presenting. It's really like the result of more than 3-4 years of transmuting, healing, researching, learning, downloading, and it is really an elixir, like a diamond, a jewel of everything we've been going through, understanding that we want to give back now, transcend. And you can find things that very, I mean, if you're like this, hold to this real find like fun activation as channeling activation, Akashic records activations, quantum healing, experiencing quantum healing activation, past life regression, future life progressions, remote control viewing. I don't know what else, but it's a set of so many fun things. And also rituals, like Annette was talking about this ritual she was doing with candles. I mean, if you're interested into, like learning some ritual, experiencing ritual with us, this is also what you're going to get, because it is, for us, it's like Candyland, isn't it? It's really like, woo, every time you said, I'm doing that with the candle, I'm like, woo, fun. Let's do that. Let's expand that. I want to know more. I want to do it.
I remember there was one time, because I do crystal grids on a pretty regular basis, and I remember I had done a crystal grid, and Angie, you walked into my house and you're like, "Ooh, I feel something. What's going on over here?" It was amazing.
Yeah, to me, the realm and the dimension are so open, in which this is what makes it fun, because I can all of a sudden be like incorporated with a certain being or consciousness that want to interact with us. And most of the group activation I do, it's not me per se. I'm always like channeling and letting through some beautiful high vibrational being, collective or source energy, and just talk and activate. I don't really know how it works, but it works.
Yep. Okay, so let us get started on the little mini guidance. So
yes. Annette, please, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
I wanted to go in the chat, and we will welcome Joan, Bianca, Justina. Thank you so much for your patience. But I'm going to go in the chat just to go through some questions.
Sure.
Okay. So, oh yes, this was from Courtney. I've never felt like I have a spiritual gift besides loving people easily. Oh, that's the most amazing.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna talk about empath. Like, how do you discover what your gifts are? Beautiful question.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel that we look for things when we're looking for our gifts, we look for things that other people have.
Yeah.
So the first thing that I usually say to people is look at what you have. What are your innate talents? So do you gravitate more towards feeling? So it sounds like to me, Courtney, that maybe feeling is one of your primary gifts, because if you love people easily, that's going to be your clairsentience. So right now, actually, and I'm getting them right now because I have a predominance for clairsentience. So I get the chills coming from the base of my spine, coming all the way up my spine and all the way to the top of my head. And usually my guides will give that to me when they're giving me an emphasis, or they want me to say, hey, yes, you're right. You're on the right track. So clairsentience can show up in so many different ways. But oftentimes I like to tell people to start to discover your gifts. Really start with what you're aware of, what you're good at initially. So do you gravitate towards music? Do you gravitate towards, maybe you get messages through songs. Maybe you get messages through words or poems or books, so that's going to be your clairaudience. So start that discovery there. Start with your strengths and what your natural talents are. And then sort of move forward from there and allow the universe to sort of unfold that for you.
Yeah, it's we always go back to know that self, know yourself. That's why we go back to the fundamentals of it. Know yourself and observe yourself, contemplate. It's really look within and assess. If you have, and this is something we do in the workshop. We help each of the person present to understand what are your own unique intuitive signals. Okay, signals can come from the mountain, come from the heart, come from the belly as well. It can be physical, it can be emotional, it can be just an instant inner knowing. Whatever it is, it's always unique to you, and we will help you discover that. So thank you so much for these questions, Courtney, because this is key to discover. How do you discover what your gifts are? And yes, the key is really no one is the same. No one develop the gift the same way. It's the same thing as playing the music, for example. No one will play the piano the same way, and it is funny because it's just the same piano. It's just the same notes of music. It doesn't change, but still, each person playing the piano would give a different interpretations of a sort of piece of music, or how does the instrument resonate? Because this is the beauty of what we truly are. Is like we are a unique frequency, a unique vibrations, and we attune to the subtle world in a unique way, so that our downloads, our intuitions are going to be exactly set so that it is connected to our own way of translating, because we are transducer of information. And that's something I forgot to say at the beginning. What is mediumship? Mediumship is the ability to be a transducer of information, I believe. So you are always connecting to the unified field of consciousness. You download imagination, you download memories, you download thoughts. Nothing is created in the brain, and this is validated. Everything is a download. Also, praise imagination, because this is the gateway to the visualization, to your intuition, to the miracles. Imagination has been so underestimated or ridiculized, or if you think that it's only your imagination, well, imagination is the gateway to these amazing ecstatic experiences, actually.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah.
One of the things that that I found out early on when I first found out that I was going to be reading the Akashic records was that the work that it was going to take to get there was actually going to be a lot. And so when I first found out that I was going to be reading the Akashic records, and I got that through guidance, it took 5 years before I was able to actually do it. Now, I'm not going to say that it's going to take everybody that long. It just took me that long, I think, because I didn't have the tools that I needed. But at the same time, you can discover what your spiritual gifts are. And then sometimes it takes a while for them to develop and for them to actually get to a space where you can trust them. And that's part of what we're going to show you in this workshop, is how to trust your gifts and how to really discover them. Because some people I've worked with actually have their gifts already, and they're already online, and they don't even know that they are, because they've not practiced them. So that can also be the other aspect, that you may already have them and you don't even know it yet.
Yes. And also the questions. I mean, the science of questions, understanding how to ask the questions is key, because the question makes the answer. So one trick I can give right now very easily is really take 3 deep inspiration. How you say?
Deep breaths.
Deep breaths. I'm sorry. Deep breath. My French is coming back. We're rushing back. And then you just really connect to the feeling in your heart, the sensation in your heart. You place your hand in your heart. You breathe, and then when you're ready, you ask the question. And the first thing that pops in your head is usually the intuition voice. When you discuss it after and you go back and forth, this is mental. But the first thing that comes in your heart is usually your gut feeling, your intuition talking to you. So the fact that you trust it or not, this is exactly what we are doing this extraordinary workshop for, and where we will explain to you what to do with it.
It's true.
So we had Simona Di Santo.
Hi, Simona.
You know Simona? Hi, Simona.
I do.
Absolutely agree with you. For what I see, what is still painful shows a wound still open that needs attention and healing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely true. So we also have a beautiful comment from Stone. She said, I'm not sure where to submit a question. That's how fried my brain has been. I can't even think. I need help desperately. Welcome.
That's what we're here for. So Stone, if you want to, we're getting your messages. So wherever you're writing them, you can feel free and put your question in there. Yeah. Okay. So just to let you know, Angie, I think I mentioned this earlier, but I do have I have a session at 5:00. So if I'm not able to finish with the mini readings, you're cool with finishing with them? Yes.
Of course, I love that.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So we're welcoming Joan. We're welcoming Bianca and Justina. Hi. Bianca, maybe we start by you.
Hi. Yeah, basically what I wanted to find out is like just general guidance and on how to enhance my intuition, and specifically like what I should focus on in the coming year, because I'm going through with my job, it's going through a change right now, and it's, for me, it feels quite uncertain. And like I was talking in the group the other day, the WhatsApp group, where it just everything just feels very chaotic around me, and I'm not sure how to interpret it. And so that's what I wanted guidance for.
Okay. So you said that right now, at the moment, your experience of life is getting chaotic, isn't it?
Yeah, it feels like that, but it feels like it's chaotic, but just outside of me. Like I can feel the effects, but I don't understand what it is.
Okay. So, for example, would you say that you are trying to achieve something for the moment, but everything you're trying to do is kind of failing, or just you?
It it's not failing, it's feeling a lot more difficult than it should be, I think.
Okay, everything you're doing is required from you more energy, attentions, and you have a set of difficulties before you can reach.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel it.
yeah. And then well, there's an unexpected turn of events with work.
Yes. So
So,
you're
that's
you're sure that you're going into a direction, and then all of a sudden you have a set of impediment, and then the turns of event are very unexpected, but not per se in your favor, isn't it?
exactly.
Yes, I feel it. I can see it. So this is like a calling, all right? And this is kind of what I was trying to explain earlier, but it's always getting this agility to understand that everything that is happening around you right now is a mirror, okay, to a part of you that needs to be observed, okay. So if you start to get difficulties, it means that you reach your limits of pretending, I would say, okay.
Okay.
You reach the limit of pretending you like this job, you reach the limit of pretending you like this person. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
Like it is forcing kind of to fit into somewhere when you really know that this is not for you. You understand?
Mm.
So when you say at first, I need to open my intuition, that this is a good insight, actually. Because yes, you need to open your intuition so that you can listen to what your true self is screaming, because I can hear it screaming to you. Hey, you perfectly know you don't like this. You perfectly know that who are you kidding? I mean, no, it's like, it's not that nothing works. It's just that you're getting help from your higher self
Yeah.
to make the cut, to make the call where it is needed now, because um, you are being pushed to get out of a comfort zone, and you know that. You've been knowing that for quite some time, isn't it?
Yes, and it's a bit scary.
Yeah, it's scary. You don't want to
Yeah.
make the choice. You don't want to do it. So what's going to happen is that when you get all the signals, but you don't want to listen to your intuition, you are going to create more of what you don't want. And it's going to be, it can be funny things like that, like nothing I do works, or
Mm.
it's always a turn on event, because there is deep down repressed an aspect of you that is untrue, not coherent, and that has still some fears to clean and needs attention. So
Yeah.
if you want to understand why, like you've been laughing, so I think you get the idea now, you understand. So moving forward, take the time to understand, okay, the feedback, the information that this tough time is giving you, so that you can address, as an individual in your self-development. Okay, what am I doing in my reality that is not coherent, attuned to my true self, and how I can heal the aspect of me that is fearful to get out of this comfort zone, to get into the next time, to the next period of my life, where I dare to be my true self. I dare to get this job. I dare to express fully who I am. And I am visible, because this is what I hear from you. You have a
Yeah.
higher self that is very pushy. Did you hear that? It's pushing you. It's
Oh
pushing.
yeah, it feels like that, but I'm trying to, because I want to accomplish certain things by the end of this year.
Of course.
I've tried to stay in this area that I'm in,
Mhm.
but uh, suddenly it's just before the end of the year, it's all kind of blown up,
Yeah.
and it's not according to what I planned, basically.
Yes, because there's another thing that is key. It's the way we would love to control everything.
Yeah.
Okay, we want this to happen this way. We want to control our reality, but guess what? It doesn't work. The more you're trying to control it, the less you can
Yeah.
where you are going to be able to control. So my advice, and then I'm going to let Annette talk. My advice into what I'm feeling right now for you would be to actually. Let go of this resistance and set yourself into intention and actions to the real path, to the true path, because you know it. You know where you've been calling. So maybe there's something to sort out from this old version of yourself. But
Mm.
if you address it into this new intention, saying, "Oh, okay, now I have to finish it, but I don't um, I don't get attached to the outcome anymore because I know now that I have been called to actually step into my true purpose. So I'm going to honor whatever was this job or whatever was this experience, but I'm not going to attach any like strong outcome result into it because I know that I'm going to use it as an experience and repurpose it into my true calling. Okay, so
Yeah.
energetically you're going to shift from letting go, surrendering this part of your life, and welcome the new energy to invest now the whole full energy and intention into what you really want to boldly, courageously want to create, because this is what I get from you.
Mm.
Okay, this is a process that can require some assistance. Don't hesitate to reach out to either me and Annette if you feel like there is a resonance, so that we can have a private session and we can guide you and show you how to do it as well. If you are a little bit stuck, because it can be scary to do it on your own. And I know that being right there, like you understand it, I feel it in your heart that you understand it energetically, you're ready to shift it, but maybe sometimes you need a nudge because
Yeah.
it's not really easy to go dive into a traumatic wounds on your own. That is the reason why energetically you want to control something, because you're fearful and it is like you don't want to suffer again the things you
Mm.
suffer in your childhood. Okay, so
Yeah.
now you're, if it resonates, if this message resonates with you, you have the keys. You can try to set yourself and move on. But if it is still too difficult, don't hesitate to book some time with us, and we will be more than happy to help you get to the next level. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
I wanted to add one thing. Everything that Angie said beautifully covers it. But the one image that I just kept on getting over and over again is you sitting in the middle of a tornado, and that tornado is that chaos. And basically the chaos is almost like feeding on you. You're feeding on the chaos, and it's like I'm seeing the tornado, like the energies are sort of pulling at you. And
Yeah.
so right now you're making decisions and you're doing things based on that chaos. So you're in that space of reacting, you're in that space of absorbing what is going on around you and trying to put out the fires accordingly and try to make things copacetic or make things better in some certain way. But it's like you can't calm the storm when you're in the middle of it. So I'm seeing you push your hand out of this tornado and you're trying to like push through it so you can get to the other side of it. But every time you touch it, it's like it hurts you or it shocks you. And so you're trying to push through that tornado and
Mhm.
it's not working because you're like, "Oh God, no, that hurts. I don't want to do that. Oh, nope, I don't want to do that." And that's that resistance that Angie was talking about. But if you can just push through it, get to the other side of the tornado. So you're literally on the outside. You're not in the middle of it. You're on the outside and you can be the conscious observer. You can observe what is going on and then you can say, "Ah, I see how all of these things are tied together. I see that connection to that. I can see that energetic connection there. And then you can make the decisions from your heart based on your own true energy that is unaffected by the chaos that is going on around you. So that is part of what is happening at this time, is that you're making decisions based on the energies that are around you and that are affecting you. And so in order to be able to really listen to your intuition, you're going to be able to, you're going to have to pull yourself out of those in whatever way that you can. So this can happen on a minute by minute basis. It can happen on a daily basis. If you're dealing with a particular person, or something having to do with work, and you need to really just take a moment, take 5 minutes, go take a few deep breaths, pull yourself out of that chaos so you can see from the outside perspective. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because it's funny. You said I'm sitting in the middle of a tornado, because those are the exact words I used to describe it to my cousin, my brother, and stuff. So that was really amazing.
Good. Yeah. So so make sure you try to stay out of it as much as possible. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Understood. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you so much, Bianca. Did you have anything
you.
else to ask?
No, just well, basically that was on the general energy, but what I should focus on in the coming year. That was it.
Well, I think if you now connect to your intuition, what would be the answer? Because you know the answer. What would be the answer?
It's to work on me, on myself, and to align things.
Good.
That's what I get.
Good.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Okay. All right.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
remember that you have everything inside of you, in you, to actually transcend all these challenges, and you know it, and you got this. Okay.
Okay. I will. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Bianca.
Annette. Thanks, Angie. Bye.
My pleasure. Are you Spanish?
No, I'm Trinidadian.
Ah, entonces hablas español, ¿no?
No, we speak English in
Oh,
Trinidad.
you speak English. Okay, you have a beautiful accent that got me.
Oh, because I live in France now.
Oh, okay, right.
So it's a bit mixed up sometimes. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So now we welcome Joan or Justina. Which one wants to come? Let's see if Justina is there. Hi, Justina.
Hi, I have my camera on. I don't know if you can see me. I can't see myself on this, but maybe it's my Wi-Fi. Basically, I wrote in the chat just to get whatever message the divine and my spirit guides wanted to give me. I'm moving through a really, right before my birthday, which was last Friday on the 10th, all of a sudden, like, it just felt really intense. And
Justina, wait, the sound is very loud.
Oh, okay. Huh. Is online. Okay. Basically, can you hear me now?
The sound is still very bad.
The sound is still very bad.
Oh, okay.
There is an
echo.
Oh, that's weird. I wrote in the chat, I just wanted like whatever the divine and the spirit guides wanted to give me.
Okay.
How do I tap into my ability? I get messages through dreams, but I don't know.
So do you have a specific issue, Justina?
So do you have a specific
you would like guidance for?
Justina?
Since my birthday last.
You would like guidance for?
Oh, how to tap into my like I get messages through dreams, but I wasn't sure if there was something else that was missing that I'm missing.
Do you write down your dreams,
No,
Justina?
it's breaking up.
Sound is very bad.
Can you hear us, Justina?
What we do is that I believe Justina just wrote a message. So let's, Justina, we go back into Joan, and I'm going to read. I'm going to read our message.
Mm-hmm.
Joan, are you here?
I'm here. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, perfectly. Hello, Joan.
Hi.
Beautiful, beautiful Joan.
So basically just both of you have been on my journey of my dark night of the soul for the past few years. So this is like a really nice opportunity to speak to both of you at the same time, but I'll keep it brief. I know I'm at the tail end of it and I've had some major shifts, generally speaking, but I am still going through quite a dramatic purge right now. And I feel like I'm in this like transitional purgatory in my current life, professionally. And I don't know, I just feel like I'm just kind of like in this waiting period. So any kind of general guidance would be nice for this as I finish up this dark night. I feel like I'm more aligned. I'm seeing crazy amount of angel numbers. So I think I'm on the right path, but just, I could use a little extra guidance. That's about it.
Yeah, one of the things that that I'm seeing first for you, Joan, is that I heard the term purge loop. So there's some sort of loop that you're in at the moment where you've been in that purge for so long that it's almost as if it's become sort of a part of your general day-to-day care. It's become part of what you're doing. The angel numbers are definitely there to show you that you are going in the right direction. But what I'm seeing is like you're in the purge loop, but then all of a sudden you're just going to be sort of pushed out of it. And I'm seeing you like kind of as you find your feet, you're just going to be like, oh wait, I'm standing now. Oh, and I'm clear of it. And oh wait, oh it's done. Oh, okay. Cool. Like it's going to happen pretty quickly. It's not going to be sort of this gradual weaning of the purging process. You're just going to be like it's almost going to be you're going to be pushed out of the purging cycle and it's going to be done. And then you're going to take a little bit of time to find your feet and find your new balance. And then I'm seeing you sort of like dusting yourself off. You're like, oh, okay, so that's done. And I'm dusting myself off. I'm finding my balance. Okay. Looking around at my surroundings and seeing, okay, what's going on? What is happening right now? What is going on around me? What is this new energy that I am in? So it's going to be you getting sort of used to what that new energy is going to be and how you're going to be moving through the world in it from here on out. So I'm seeing that it's a little bit murky at this moment simply because you haven't been sort of birthed out of this purging cycle yet. So it's like you're once you get just sort of pushed out of it, and it's not that anybody's pushing you out of it, you're going to be sort of popped out of it, but it's a matter of then just sort of getting acclimated. And I'm feeling like a little dizzy right now. So it's actually, you're going to have to really ground. And I think that that's something that you and I have talked about before. Like your ability to ground is going to be really paramount to getting adjusted to the new energy as well.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Because I do feel like some parts of me have already come out a little bit, like different aspects where I just am like dusting myself off and I all of a sudden feel quote normal, whatever that means for us. But you know what I mean? So
yeah,
okay. That's very comforting.
Yeah.
So what I get from you, because obviously we know you, Joan, and it's a lot to deal with. Whatever your soul came here to transcend and teach the collective. You have a unique soul blueprint, very ancient, and there is so much knowledge in your bloodline. And even though we haven't been speaking for a long time, it doesn't matter because I can see what you're doing now. and the creation you're doing, the podcast you're doing. And this is already huge, huge achievement, because you work on being visible and expression. And everything you're doing to express and share with the collective is already right on aligned with your journey here. The fact that you think that there's something missing or there's not enough, it's still set in this controlling mode that is part of the bloodline programming. Okay, so there is such a huge programming into controlling your reality, being recognized or being known, or being visible, to achieve what is success, that once you start stepping into your soul missions, you need to already appreciate, all the work you've done. Praise yourself, take the time to really congratulate you and give you gratitude for all the amazing job and transformation you've already been through, and what you are currently creating. And I think, it's always go back whenever you feel this way, go back to the roots of it, what is the part of you as an inner child that felt not enough, not good enough, what is giving you the sensation that you cannot go through the next phase, is always to go back to the aspect of you that is suffering from maybe the lack of being recognized, the lack of being loved, lack of being praised enough. Okay, so all this is always part of the new comfort zone that you're getting out of. That makes sense?
Yeah, that makes complete sense.
Yeah, so you're like exactly where you should be. You've done beautifully. You're just spreading your wings, and now you're just getting through a new upgrade, I would say.
Yeah.
So it's just going back to the process, and really for you, this is what I feel is, take the time to look at everything you've creating. It's amazing, and praise yourself. Okay.
Okay, thank you. I needed to hear that.
Yes, and open your heart to the next surprises, because you've been doing so much work into allowing to be surprised. Okay, so you have your place into this conscious community. You are going to fly so high. And we're so lucky to have you, because the extent of what you bring, the knowledge, the depth of your heart is just amazing and huge. Okay, so this kind of huge knowledge takes some time to be fully manifested into the density. Okay, because it does require a huge harmonization between masculine, between feminine, between all the dualities, to actually be on our own, manifestor here, because you're doing it on your own as well.
Yeah.
Yes, you are connecting to conscious being, but I know your path is a very challenging path of this self-mastery of being alone. It's a little bit like mine. Like when you come here to actually give back to the collective and teach all this knowledge and transcendence and old, wise energy, then you need to find a way to understand how to create motivation and will. Okay.
Yeah.
Because will and motivation are the masculine principle. And when you have been educated by a masculine principle that wasn't very harnessing the will, the motivations, and couldn't be really fully recognized for the genius, you tend to repeat this. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what is happening, that you are fully aware of certain paths from your childhood, from your father, etc. So now you're facing, as you grow, as you're being visible, as you're succeeding, in connecting to your soul mission, which is maybe the first generation in your bloodline, then of course at some point these kind of impediments are going to show, because it's like facing dad and embracing him and saying, okay, I'm not going to repeat this way of not being recognized, because I'm going to recognize that I am here doing the best thing that I can, living my best life, and I'm worth it. I'm worth to be recognized. I have knowledge to spread around. It's not about my ego, about me. It's about everything I can bring to myself first, and then I can bring to the other. Okay, so that I am being fully recognized for all the wisdom that I bring here. That makes sense for you?
Yes, complete sense.
So you're good to go now, because I feel
Thank you so much.
good to fly, and I'm looking forward to more co-creation together.
Me too. Me too. I can't wait.
Yeah, above all in Amsterdam. We're gonna.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
Angie.
much. Thank you so much, Joan.
Thank you. Bisous.
Bisous. So I think, Annette is gone now. Sorry, Annette is gone because she was called to do a session. So Annette, I give you a lot of kisses. Thank you for co-creating this amazing live stream together with me and all the beautiful souls that were there. So before we finish this live stream, I think I'm going to. Justina is gone. Okay, so Justina, that would be, you know what we can do? Just send your question to me and Annette, and we will answer your question privately so that you can get your guidance. And then Stone, I can see that you are asking a lot of questions. How can I clear blockages, purposes put on me to prevent me from using my gift? Okay, this first question here, Stone. So there is something I'm going to say to you, because to begin with, when we navigate this very difficult, awakening journey, we tend to believe that we are victim of whatever is happening to us. We tend to believe that the universe is against us, or everyone is against us, which is fundamentally a traumatic reaction set into the childhood. Okay, to believe that everyone is against you, that no one loves you, no one understands you, which I believe it's perfectly in line to the circumstances of your life, of course, but because this is an old traumatic response that we have from childhood. So because you haven't been protected enough, loved enough, or praised enough. So we tend to, as we grow older, we tend to believe that everything is against us and or conspires. It is conspiracy against us, when it's actually the contrary. Whatever happens to us as a challenge, and it's difficult, I know, it's for us, for the growth, for the development. It is the way to observe. It is the only way to actually take a step back and observe whatever we feel, and the opportunity to further learn. So that will be to answer your first questions. So I can no longer hear my intuition. So sometimes this happens when you are in this stagnant and confusing energy. So it is a calling for to go deeper into understand where is the pain, where is the sadness, where is this limited beliefs that is actually getting you stuck and confused, so that you can understand that your intuition is still there. There is just too many opposite mixed feeling that is actually preventing you from moving. So it's everything dealing with taking responsibility for your life, being courageous, like doing the next step for you that would be bold and courageous, even if it's not really comfortable. That will get you out of your confusion. And of course, don't hesitate to, like book sometimes with me and Annette, so that maybe we can help you make sense of whatever this confusion is all about. But intuition is always there. It never goes away. Every aspect of my life has deteriorated in the last 2.5 months. So what will be interesting is to actually go back like 2 months, 3 months prior this period, and understand what sets this impediment in motions. So this is how I do with my clients. I will go back to whatever you've been experiencing at these times, and just uncover all the different signals you had, so that we can understand why you are creating this, or why this chaos is emerging in your life, so that you can further develop, learn, or take the decision that you need to take to grow, basically, or to get to this timeline where you're going to achieve whatever you need to achieve or create, because there's nothing to achieve. So then, if you want, just reach out to me. It's my fault. I haven't exactly been living a high vibrational life. I don't think we are all in the same boat here. I mean, there's no perfection here. Like being in a low or vibration or high vibration is nothing set into being good or being bad. Like, you're not being punished because you live a life where you believe you are in a low vibration. Low vibration and high vibration are here to be experimented. So if you live a life that is in a low vibration, as you consider is a low vibration, it's because there is a part of you that is resonated with this low vibration. So that would be interesting to understand what is this part, and what does she needs, or it needs, to be integrated back to you, forgiven, loved, observed, and so that you can move on with this part of your journey and heal this wound that is connected to it. That's another thing I forgot to mention. I haven't dreamed at all during the same time soon. Okay. So what we will do, Stone, is that that will be my pleasure, maybe to talk to you on the call, and let's see how I can help you moving forward. So just let me a comment here in the chat, and I will get back to you. So I think this is the end of the live stream. So I'm going to thank you. Maybe I get back to Joan so that I don't finish it on my own. Joan, Bianca. So thank you so much for being there with us today.
And thank you. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Angie.
Yeah, so that was amazing to do these live streams, and we will do with Annette another masterclass where we are going to experience a group hypnosis, getting into Akashic record. It will be a more private masterclass, so you're going to be able to register for this one. And in the meantime, I wish you a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful evening, and enjoy yourself. And remember to just, be joyful and just enjoy your life. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, agreed. Thank you.
Have fun, have fun, have fun. Bisous.
Bisous.
Bisous. Bye-bye.
Bye.